Alright, let's go ahead and start. Probably won't be working on art for too long. I just wanted to for a little bit. Because I will be streaming some more Bloodborne later, so. But, how's everyone doing? Doing really good? Nice. FF14, awesome. Your new life. I'm glad you got back into it though. I know it had been a while since you had played it. 277 hours. Damn. Damn. Oh, you got someone to go in with you? Nice. Oh, that sounds perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd seen the other day that he was playing FF14 on Discord. I figured he was probably playing with you. That's cool. Can't believe that the Gauge picture on Twitter already has like 275 likes, which is crazy. I was not expecting that. Apparently, people have really been wanting fan art of Gauge. Aw, thanks. I am really happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I was hoping that expression matched her well. From what I have heard about her, the little bit I know, I thought it would work. Yeah, there is also the movie going on too. Oh, that would be interesting if she's in. That does make sense. Oh god, seriously. he so should be Brick. That's a good call. Okay, assuming that this movie does well and they actually get to do a sequel, who do you want playing Handsome Jack? Yeah, it is a tough one, right? That's true too. There's your potential roster is going to be a little limited. Mel Gibson? I don't know about that one. Yeah, that is true. Ooh, Tom Hiddleston. Interesting. It does seem like it would have to be someone you wouldn't expect. I think Tom Hiddleston would be good because that is someone you wouldn't exactly expect for a character like that. But yeah, I could see that working. Ooh, Mads would be good. That I would like that. Yeah, that's the thing. He does have like an artificial face. Ooh, thank you for pointing that out. Had it off for the game stream. Let me go and bring this up too for now. Alright, Jen. Yeah, I have to make it a constant note to myself to not detail these Knuckle of E's as much as I did in their premiere shot on the last page. Oh yeah, who would be good for Mordecai? Yeah. Alright, good luck on the raid. Ooh, first expansion pass. Nice. That's a lot of content. Oh yeah, let me post on the other servers real quick. There we go. This shot is a little closer, so I don't mind adding a little bit of extra detail. But I definitely went a little crazy with detail on the first shot of them. I need to avoid that. Otherwise, I'll never be done. Yeah, like all these extra little lines, definitely not going on other panels. Not worth it. Let me go ahead and get these spots filled real quick. Alright, let me thicken the lines up here a little bit. I think that'll be good. Yeah, this panel here is essentially a redrawing of one of the older ones. Let me actually bring up the older page. Just because it's fun looking at them side by side. Yeah, this is basically like a redrawing of this, just changing her hair to how it looks now. Has a little more curliness to it and a little bit longer. I haven't gotten to her yet, but I'm still trying to figure out how I might want to change Brooke's hairstyle. It might not even be like much of a style difference, but more just the way I draw it. Because as it stands now, the way her bangs are drawn makes it kind of hard to connect it to the rest of the hair. I struggle with that sometimes. Basically, like, you have her head, but then, like, the bangs kind of swoop across. And then from there, let's move this over a little bit. Yeah, from there, they're kind of puffed out here at the top. And then I have to figure out the waviness of the sides. And getting that to connect and look good is kind of weird. Like right there, this looks a little odd. And it usually requires me going through 3 or 4 iterations of drawing her hair and hair until I actually get it the way I want. Like sometimes from this one I'll just swoop it around, which that doesn't look too bad, but getting it to connect over here, like, don't exactly like that. It's too much of a rounded section. I like having it like go along with the same curve on each side a lot of times. But if I'm doing that, the connection point between these two gets a little weird. Don't necessarily want it that low. And yeah, it's just, among all the characters, her hair is the most complicated to draw for me. Just because of little details that probably don't mean too much to anyone reading, but for the actual drawing of it and getting it to look quite right, it's just been kind of frustrating. So I need to figure out how I want to slightly change her hairstyle to where it works. I don't really want to give her like a cross bangs, even though I do like the way that hairstyle looks. Hannah has that hairstyle, so you know, I want to mostly keep each character's hair unique to themselves. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of experimenting, but I'll figure something out. But fortunately, Brooke's not going to show up for another few episodes. I know I've been throwing the term episodes around a bit. Basically, that's pages, essentially, uploads. That's the term that Webtoon uses, which is going to be probably the main website that I'm targeting for this remake. They're one of the biggest when it comes to the vertical scrolling format. But yeah, for each upload, they call them episodes. So essentially, for my case, an episode is going to be mostly the same amount of content as a page would have, but like a little bit more. You get, you know, more art and probably a few more panels than you would otherwise get on one of the classic pages. Classic pages, I couldn't really fit more panels than like 9. There's usually just like 3 rows of sometimes 3 panels on each row, or less. I can definitely fit, I mean, honestly, as much as I want now, because I'm not limited to a certain length or a certain, you know, resolution like I was before. So if I need a really long episode, it can be as long as I want, or it can be short. But I'm mostly going to try to stick to a length sort of like this. This has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this has like 9 to 10 panels. So it's really not unlike the amount of panels you would get in the classic pages. Only difference is you get a lot more art and less text clutter, so that's good. But anyway, yeah, that's an episode. Essentially the same thing as a page, but it's just the terminology that I'm going to be using now. Basically, we can probably still expect a chapter to be roughly the same number of episodes as it was pages. Like the first chapter originally was 12 pages, so we're probably going to be looking at around 12 episodes for chapter 1. Maybe a few more, but around that area. It could be a little different due to the fact that with the first episode, not the intro, but the first actual episode of this chapter, I kind of combined the first 2 pages. And I can see that happening a few times. Because since I don't exactly have the limitation of how much I can fit into each one like I did before, I'm going to aim for having each episode have a, decent stopping point. Like, it doesn't have to like always be some kind of cliffhanger or something like that, but I'd like to set up some kind of good ending point for each one. Not all the time, but that is something I'd like to keep in mind and aim for. And clearly, as you can see, even though I am definitely adding more details and for slightly more serious shots, the proportions of the characters are a bit more on the realistic side compared to, some of the things I used to draw. That does not mean we're not still going to get funny, comical shots like this, where the proportions are very cartoonish. That's sort of a staple for the comic, so that's not really going anywhere. Honestly, in a lot of ways, not much is changing as far as the spirit of the comic. I'm just doing it a little bit better. I've never really had any kind of issue with the tone that the comics had from the beginning. It's always been pretty much what I wanted, but I think a fresh coat of paint will do it some good. I will adjust the pacing a little bit in some of the earlier chapters. Like as an example, this set of pages here, we have this page where she's running from the Nuclevi, and then she kind of bursts out of the wardrobe and starts beating them up, does the whole Hokuto no Kin thing, and then she's done with them. And that's fine, but it's very hectically paced, and I don't necessarily want to portray her as some kind of superpowered being. Even though it's a funny reference. So, yeah, this time around, she is not going to be bursting out of the wardrobe in an explosion and just instantly dispatching of them. It'll play out a little differently. Possibly a little more intensity involved trying to get away from these monsters. Yeah, there's probably going to be little changes like that here and there, but the basic flow of each chapter is going to be about the same. One thing I'm going to have to think about and consider is what I might want to do with... What chapter was it? I think it was chapter 10. No, chapter 9. Chapter 9 was the one that was sort of a special episode that was Halloween themed. They had the little party and they had the doppelganger, Mothman, stuff like that. It was a cute chapter. I don't feel like it and by design it didn't progress much plot or anything. It was just like a funny little thing to do. And yeah, I need to decide whether I want to remake that chapter or if I really need to remake that chapter. I very well could, but I'm just not sure yet. I don't know if I need to redo it. It doesn't really introduce important characters or anything. But we'll see. That's all the way at chapter 9, so I've got plenty of time to decide what I want to do with that. But otherwise, everything's mostly going to just sort of be remade one-to-one. Just a few little changes here and there. And it'll take a while. It'll take a while for me to catch back up to where we were currently at chapter 12 starting, but I do definitely think it's going to be worth it. Especially with the first 3 chapters being done in MS Paint, and then beyond that 4 through 7 were done in Flash, which looked better, but they didn't have a lot of detail. They didn't have shading, anything like that. But yeah, especially those first 3 chapters, that's a little tough for new readers to jump into. Because either A, they're going to expect that's what the whole comic is and possibly be uninterested, or they're just not going to like the way it looks. Might be a little hard for them to follow. Like at this time I didn't even have proper gutters between panels. They were separated by very thin lines. A little hard to even tell sometimes, depending on the shot I'm setting up, which panel is which. For example, you have her in the wardrobe here, which has a vertical line here, and then you have a separation here. It could be very confusing which one is a panel separation. There's even better examples of that confusion in a few other pages, especially chapter 2. Yeah, that just makes those early pages a little hard to jump into for someone fresh. I definitely want to have more readers for this comic. been going at it off and on for like 10 years now. I would definitely like to introduce some new people to it. I do have a lot of confidence in it. I think it's a pretty good comic. But presentation is everything. I'm not sure how I'm going to set up the main site yet. What I've been using for the main site, which is Comic Fury. I know I'm going to have it to where all the chapters link to the remakes once I have them up. But I don't know how I'm going to preserve the original, because I definitely want to. I want the original somewhere at least, most likely at least exclusively on the main site. I still want it preserved, I still want it accessible. I don't know if I'll have like the corresponding page linked at the bottom of the new pages, or if I'll just have it accessible through, you know, an archive, a new archive entirely. But yeah, I definitely want it there in some capacity. And of course I have the comic on DeviantArt as well. I won't be removing any of the old pages there either, so they'll all still be viewable there as well. Yeah, any of these more distant shots I do not need to put all that detail into. And honestly, as I go, especially like past the first chapter, I'll probably go a little quicker even on some of this art. Just definitely want to put a lot of effort into the first thing people are going to see. Once I get past that, I'll be just slightly less tedious on details. Because the goal is to actually do it. That becomes increasingly harder the more details you start to add. That should work. I know a lot of the details I'm doing here too are a bit inconsistent between frames, but stuff like that doesn't matter much. That's the advantage of doing a comic in a more cartoonish style instead of realism. You can just gesture a lot of things and it's perfectly fine. Always becomes tougher when you have a more realistic style. Like, for example, initially I was going to look up what horse bone structures and muscular structures look like so I could more accurately depict what the horse portions of these Knuckle V look like. I don't care enough to do all that. That's way too much work. I can just do blobs and it's fine. If someone's coming along critiquing me on my horse muscular detail, then they're kind of missing the point of the comic anyway. I think the word I'm looking for is musculature, not muscular. Besides, these things are like aquatic creatures, or at least like the main Knuckle V. The actual Knuckle V is an aquatic demon. So, there's no standard on how it should really look. Down around these next panels should be fun because I have a lot of tiny Knuckle V to draw. Like in the gutter area around here, I just wanted to draw, you know, a multitude of them just to give the idea of how many of them are chasing her. Not in a particular panel, but just to kind of illustrate their presence. Definitely want some kind of bold line through here to separate these two legs. You know, typically you can illustrate the depth pretty well once you color it, shade it, things like that, but I do like to make any kind of depth as clear as I can just with the line art alone. Makes the rest of the process a lot easier. That's why you'll see me do dark, like black shadows between limbs or something, or under the jaw, This helps define sections. I won't worry about doing the lines for the backgrounds until later. Even with the old format, that's usually what I did. I would do all the character lines first and then do the background lines afterwards. I really like the Dissidia theme, it's good. I'll probably do those Knucklevies on the background layer, since they're interacting with it a bit. And per usual, if it's a face I might need to adjust or something, I'll do that on a different layer. Another thing I've got to do, because I still have some time since I'm not officially launching this yet, but I need to make some new banners and backdrops and stuff like that for the main site, for all the social media sites. Just to update it a little bit. Right now, pretty much all of that is it's the same old like wooden plank background, like the inside of a haunted house sort of situation that I've been using pretty much since the beginning on those sites. For the banners, it has like the wooden planks in the window, and it says like updates every Wednesday or something like that. And yeah, I need to figure out whether I want to like redraw the wooden panels, planks, stuff like that, or if I want to go with the like actual wooden texture photos that I recently have taken that I am using for the end cards. They're working well for the end cards, but I don't know how well they'll work for the actual site graphics. Because sometimes it can work, but then other times if you start mixing media like that and have like photo texturing or just photos in general mixed in, it can come off as kind of cheap. And, you know, I'll be honest, the reason why I use the texture photos for the wood in the end cards was because I wanted to do it quickly, so I just did that instead of drawing stuff. So technically, it was cheap, but I think it does look good. So, but yeah, I'm not sure if that will come across as well for website graphics. We'll see. One of the big things I need to update to is on several of the sites, especially the main one, have this sort of sidebar situation. I can actually bring it up here real quick. Yeah, we have this sidebar situation. Several of the sites have this. It has like the yellow bar and it has the little Jackie peeking in. And yeah, this is the wooden background sort of thing that I was talking about. And yeah, those are some of the main things I'd like to update. Like this little Jackie here, I'd like to redraw her so she's not pixel art or MS Paint anymore. Something a little crisper. Same expression though, I like that. It's cute. And yeah, definitely the background too needs some kind of changing. I don't know if I'll just take this and redraw it, or like I said, maybe I'll use the photo version, which for context looks like this here. This is the end card. And yeah, I have all the writing here, but yeah, all of this wood detail is just photos that I've taken and spliced together. And of course colorized to have the same kind of like dark, over-exaggerated interior blue sort of look. And with that coloration, I sort of feel like it works pretty well. But yeah, I'm just not sure how it will be for site graphics. We'll see. I'll attempt to use them, but yeah, I might just have to redraw what we have here. Hey, Knight, how's it going? Yeah, all that site graphic stuff, that comes later. That's not a big concern right now. Like I mentioned before, I'm not not going to be actually launching this publicly until I have quite a few episodes ready. Hey Jay, how's it going? It's good now? That's good to hear. Finally done with the stuff? Okay, good. You've been at it for a while too. I'm sure you're tired. Chillin'? Cool. Everything's going good here. Just working on these lines for the third episode. Got this French bread pizza? Hell yeah. Oh god, I am sure you are so done with people. And if you're anything like me, dealing with the people, way more exhausting than all the cleaning you did beforehand. Way more exhausting. Yep, just chill out. Okay, did sort of have a bottom row of teeth detail there. By the way, Jay, just let me know whenever you're ready to start on Bloodborne, and I'll get things going for that. That was mostly just streaming this, just to have something to do in the meantime. I was working on it anyway, so I just figured, hey, I'll stream it. Oh, you are ready? Okay. Well, that's good to hear. I think I'll do like a couple little more things here just to find a good stopping point, and then I'll start getting ready. I shall. I feel like I need to touch up this eye shape a little bit. Hey, welcome back, Jen. What'd you miss? Nothing too much. I've just been talking this whole time about changes I'm gonna be doing just to fill the air. I don't know if anyone actually heard any of it, but not much I hadn't talked about before. And I got the lines done on these panels. For the characters anyway, not the background. I still end up doing the thing where I simplify fingers by making them apparently 2 jointed instead of 3. But whatever. They do have too many joints. What are they doing with all that? What are they trying to do? Win a prize or something? Come on. Yeah, who are they trying to impress? Sure as hell never impressed me. That's for damn sure. Ronald McFinger Joints Foundation. Ronald McFinger Joints. Yeah, in some cases, if it's a character interacting with what would be a background object, I'll draw it on the same layer, like here. But otherwise, I always do the background separately. That's not the right brush. Yeah, especially with how you do backgrounds, like, you have like backdrops, which is really cool. And that's definitely something you have to keep separated. Yes, recycling, which is amazing. It makes me want to start doing chapters where they are outside, so I can just start reusing backgrounds. Just make one big background and reuse it. Just using different portions. Looks really convenient. But I just have to get them out of these creepy ass houses. Okay, those are in the gutters. Gotta play a lot of Fortnite now. What they do, what they add. Oh, what's this? Yo, Snake Eyes? Hey, what was I saying, like, literally 2 weeks ago? I was saying Fortnite absolutely needs a G.I. Joe crossover because it would fit so well. Yeah, Snake Eyes! But yeah, I was literally just saying that, and they're doing it. That's really cool. Jeez, Gage has 280 likes now. That's crazy. I'm just glad I actually like the picture. Let me go ahead and detail this real quick. I usually like to... Hold on, let me bring up... Okay, like I had some ugly ass wood detail in the wardrobe before. I'm not gonna have that much. I want it to mostly look kind of clean, but have a few little lines in it here and there. Anyway, what I was going to say is I typically like to, even if I use a line tool, I like to just draw some wiggly bumps around it here and there just so it doesn't look like it was done with a line tool. Just to add a little bit of variance and width at particular little spots. Yeah, like that. It gives it a rougher look to it, makes it look like it wasn't just computer line. It's either that or I use a ruler, and in using the ruler, the line ruler, I'll go ahead and do one real quick to show. Use a linear ruler, then you're using your brush. So in doing that, you know, all the pressure that you use comes across. Also looks good. So either, you know, use a ruler, or a lot of times when I'm in a hurry and I just want to do it quickly, I'll just, you know, use the line tool that's already there and create those variances myself. It really is the Smash Brothers of Battle Royale. It's awesome seeing them having so many crossovers. There we go, that looks pretty good. It's amazing how much adding just these little lines here and there adds to the art. Like, some of those things are literally nothing. They're just lines put together. But it, like, yeah, like, let's put a little... It just adds that little sense of detail, little sense of texture to things. And it goes a long ways. You just got Snake Eyes and the Gangnam Style dance. Does the Gangnam Style dance come with the music? I know you were testing that earlier. I don't remember what you discover. It does? Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I was listening to this music. I looked up and I noticed that it was Sengoku Basara. And I was like, this track sounds cool, but damn, it sounds like Shadow of the Colossus. And I see it's by Ko Otani, which I didn't know that Ko Otani did music for Sengoku Basara. That's cool. Like, this super sounds like a Shadow of the Colossus track. I'm going to have to scour through this soundtrack more now that I know Otani did music for it. That's cool. God, Ko Otani's so good. Like, the music he composes just... And it's perfect for Shadow of the Colossus too, but like, the music itself has size and presence to it. Like, and that's a tough thing to pull off, and that's what makes it match Shadow of the Colossus so well, makes it match, I know he did a lot of kaiju movies too, a few anyway, and yeah, that's what makes it work so well. Like, the music itself has size and presence to it. That's super cool. God, seriously, Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack's so good. And yeah, Zorky, absolutely, the Sengoku Basara soundtrack. Sengoku Basara 3, it's so good. Yeah, US was pretty late on it. Gonna have to modify the way this one's face looks a little bit. He looks really sad. Or maybe I'll keep it exactly as it is. Yeah, late 90s, that sounds about right. Hey, Devontre, how's it going? Yeah, Dreadout has a very good soundtrack. In case anyone doesn't know, Dreadout is one of my favorite horror games ever. Still need to play the sequels. That was Mortal Shell. Oh, because of the droning. You know, it's a shame because I actually really love music that uses like vocal drones like that and stuff. But it's always going to make us think of Mortal Shell, isn't it? Well, it's not ruined for me, but the thought may still come up. Oh, a Snake Eyes Fortnite action figure? Nice. It's good? Wow. Hey Jim, how's it going? Coming in here shaking your head. Let's take a look at this. Damn, that's actually a pretty good Snake Eyes. Wow. I'm impressed. Especially like even comparing it to the recent, what was the recent line of G.I. Joe figures that you've got some of? Like even compared to those, it's pretty comparable. Yeah, classified. Okay, 40 bucks. I assume it's a 6-inch figure, 12 scale. Yep, 6-inch figure, 20 points articulation. Yeah, I mean, it's got all the standard high quality. It's double jointed elbows and knees. That's good. Nice. Bless you, Jin. Oh yeah, this is actually really good. And yeah, this is Kaiki's same. Yeah, it was loud, Jen. But yeah, this was a official Guilty Gear album that released where they did vocal versions of all the character themes, which is actually really cool. This is probably my favorite one. I love Holy Orders anyway, but yeah, this is a cool one. Quality audio. Yeah, louder than me. Nor really said I sneeze like a sissy. And well, I agreed. Okay, that's looking pretty good. That looks better than the sketch. He was so sad in the sketch. Okay, it's 8 o'clock now. Let me go ahead and line this one last face. We all know the sadness that lies under the surface. I'll line this last face and then I will get ready for Bloodborne. Bloodborne. It's gonna be spooky. Gonna go ahead and outline this hand first, because I want to make it bigger. It's a little too small. That's better. Isn't it the best? And especially doing it with this format, because like I said, I was doing it with the other pages too, but especially with this format, like it just makes things so much easier. The less layers you have to manage, the better. It definitely makes things like having to adjust or move particular like panels or something, makes that a little harder because you have to manually select things instead of just, you know, grabbing that particular folder, things like that. And especially it gets a little complicated when you get into needing to like move the panel lines themselves, because to my knowledge you can't do that separately from the art. Oh, things like gradients, yeah. Yeah, typically with that I'll just I'll do gradients all on one layer, but I'll just select the panel, don't have to worry about the gutter area, and just do the gradient that way. Yeah, because I use gradients on like literally every panel, and that's how I do it anyway. I'll just select the panel. If it's a non-square panel, I'll just use the polyline tool. Just select it, do the gradient, then unselect, and then select the next one. But I do all the gradients on one layer. Yeah, the speed is super worth it. Especially in the way that you were previously separating each page. I can only imagine how long that did take. Especially when it came to like coloring, like I assume you'd color one page at a time, or did you go to each page and like color that particular color on each one? Because I've done both when I had my old setup where I had like each page as a folder in the same document, which was hell to manage too. But I would like sometimes anyway pick a color and then just go through each page and do all of that color. Yeah, they're both equally bad because there's so much managing. Like with you have to go between project files. With me, I have to hide and expand different folders and things like that. But yeah, simplifying it to where it's all on one layer is so good. Yeah, between having everything on the same layers, getting to draw lines a lot quicker than I used to, deleting intersecting lines, deleting lines at the intersecting point with the right button on my pen. Just all these things have slowly been coming together, and I'm feeling like my whole process is really optimized at this point, and it feels great. Like just thinking back at how much longer a lot of this stuff would take a few years ago. Damn, 7-panel page, a month and a half. Yeah, I mean, when you're starting out too, learning the format, learning the program, all that stuff, yeah, it really can take that long. That's like even back at the old MS Paint pages. They took a considerable amount of time too. In part due to the fact that I had no layering whatsoever and I had to do everything just right there, but animation is tough too, that's for sure. I still haven't figured out the most optimal way of organizing an animation. Because there's a lot of approaches you can take, but I'd like to find the way that makes the most sense for me. I feel like I'm close, but I just haven't done a lot of animation lately. Yeah, earlier I was looking through Webtoon, just comparing episode naming conventions and things like that. I was just looking through like top 10 most popular on different categories and such. And a lot of them look really good, but I have to say, you and I, Jay, we have very high quality comics compared to some of the really popular ones. Like, they look good, but we have really high quality comics. Too high quality? I mean, maybe. But I feel like that's a part of what makes it stand out. Yep, popular does not equal good. Also, high quality doesn't equal popular. But I think it definitely helps. It definitely can help. But one of the most important things is always finding that point where you have to draw the line of, you know, I don't need to add this much detail. And there's little things where I'm already stopping myself from doing that, like, you know, details on some of these Knuckle-Vs. I don't need to have them as detailed as their debut shot, stuff like that. But, like, all in all, I feel like even the panels that I go through pretty quickly look really good. It takes a while to get there. It really does. Like, it's in part settling for things. It's also in part getting good to the point where you can be sloppier, quicker, and it actually does look just as good, or like as good as like maybe panels that you did, you know, several chapters ago or something like that. But once you can pretty quickly and easily match a standard that is still good, but isn't like your best work, but it still, you know, matches the rest of what the comic is expected to look like, I think that's a pretty good place to be. Well, I don't know. That's kind of tough to say because, I mean, for one, you do have to kind of compare it to other stories, other comics in the same category. And yeah, among that particular category, I would say absolutely, definitely. You're offering a lot of unique aspects to the genre that they're not finding in too many other places, especially there. Most of them are like solely focused on romance, things like that. So yeah, for one, yeah, you definitely have an advantage for offering something unique, and it does stand out for those things. But I mean, honestly, I feel like even in comparison to like other fantasy never intended for it to be a GL comic. I mean, yeah, that totally makes sense too. It really does. I feel like it being that has certainly helped people come across it. And I've always thought that anytime you are doing something new and different in a genre that, you know, people otherwise wouldn't find those things in, you definitely have an advantage there. It's the same kind of principle of like if you post art on an art website, you're going to kind of be flooded. You know, you're going to be drowned out by all of the other artists there. But if you come to a non-art site and present art, you know, there's a higher chance people are going to be interested. Or like, let's say you have a website like DeviantArt and I posted music there. Pretty much no one does, and I got a lot of music commissions back in the day because of that. And yeah, anytime you bring something from the outside into a particular field, that's definitely going to make you stand out, and that's going to make people more interested in what you're doing. And genres and subcategories and things like that are no different. So yeah, I think definitely the GL category definitely helps more people come across it. But no, I feel like your story, your world setup, your characters, and your dialogue in particular really do stand out, even if you do compare it to other fantasy comic stories, things like that. There's a I'm trying to think of the right word, but there's like a certain it's like this certain spark to how you do write characters. There's a liveliness to it that I feel like, in particular in the fantasy genre, a lot of that is lost. So many times things are treated so seriously that the characters are also treated very seriously, and they all come across in a very dry sort of way. And I feel like primarily you avoid that by having very lively characters. You have pretty distinct differences in the personalities, something else a lot of comics and media in general struggle with. Where they write characters in very similar fashions, and they sort of all end up kind of seeming the same and just kind of like reflections of the writer. A lot of things run into that. But no, your comic and your characters don't really have that issue. Like, in me knowing you, I can definitely see you in a lot of the writing of multiple characters, but outside of that, each character stands out, and each character has, like I said, this lively sort of spark behind them that I think is sadly a little rare in more Western fantasy sorts of situations. So no, I completely agree with what other people are saying. I think that the story and writing and characters definitely make it stand out, even among, you know, the primary genre that you're dealing with fantasy, because you're approaching things and doing things in a different way. A lot like a lot of the fantasy stuff that I do. You have that sort of Western fantasy inspiration and influence, but you also definitely have that Japanese, like, JRPG style of fantasy inspiration too. I mean, naturally, you're very inspired by the first Final Fantasy, and I feel like, especially watching you play more of it and seeing how, like, Dungeons and Dragons inspired it is, like, that is a very accurate, like, very balanced combination of those Japanese standards of fantasy and those Western standards of fantasy. And I think your comic captures that really well. And I'm always a huge fan of that combination of the two. So once again, you just offer a lot of unique and distinct things with your comic and characters and stuff, and I think that's why people are drawn in, and I definitely want to see more people get into it. And as always, that's pretty much never a factor of the quality of what you're doing, but rather pure luck. But already, like, you have a lot of readers, you have a lot of views, and I think it's definitely a testament to the unique things that you're doing rather than just fitting within a genre. Oh, I mean, of course. And if, like, I still feel bad for not having finished reading what you have up so far yet, but the that's another good part of it, is the fact that it doesn't take long getting into it for you to really pick up on the feeling and the energy behind it. Oh yeah, I know it's not going anywhere, but, like, I just really want to catch up on it. But no, seriously, in conclusion, you're doing really good, and you're gonna keep doing really good. And we both have extremely high quality webcomics. I really appreciate your confidence in it. That would be very cool if I see it do really well there. Just, you know, glancing over a lot of popular comics and such, I can see it doing pretty well. I can see that. And you already know if it does take off and do really well, I'm going to be promoting your comic there like crazy. Yeah, the update schedule is very important. That's why I want to make sure that I'm pretty damn well buffered ahead. Hell yeah, you are. You know it. Good. Okay, all the main lines are done. I still need to do the lines for the gutter artwork. I got a lot of Knuckle V to draw here, which is going to be a pain, but, you know, whatever. I just want to... Like, they're not even a part of a panel, I just want them there to kind of give a sense of, like, how many she's dealing with. And, yeah, and then the background lines. But yeah, it's coming along pretty well. But for now, I think it's about time to shift over to Bloodborne. Thanks, Jen. I'm actually really happy with the end cards I'm doing too. Have you seen the end cards yet, Jen? And the like different logos that I've done for each section? Can't remember if I had shown you yet. So yeah, basically these will be like right after the end of each episode, like connected to it. So as you're scrolling and reach the end of the episode, it just goes on to this. But yeah, I have the logo for Spooky Fun Facts, and I'll have them right there. That way people don't have to scroll down to like the actual written comment section or anything for that information. It's right there. And I have it right at the top in case people are tempted to just scroll through all the rest of this. At least that'll be right there, and hopefully, you know, they'll read through it, because like from the beginning of this comic, I've always felt that the Spooky Fun Facts section is really entertaining too. And then I have notes from the author, and that'll just be quick little notes by me. The first one's a little long because it's kind of like introducing the comic and how long it's been going, stuff like that. But yeah, I like the way the logo for that turned out too. I think it looks pretty cool. And then I have a Reader Spotlight, and it's another logo that I really like. I think it looks cool. And that section will be for highlighting just either reader comments or like if someone has a good suggestion or some kind of theory or something like that, or a question even, you know, I'll highlight it there, answer it, and also use the space for any kind of fan art I might get. To fill out the first one, I actually use the old Jackie that you drew. I know it's a little old now, but I still want to show it off, so... So yeah, that'll be the first one. I'm not really filling out any of the other reader spotlights yet. I'm going to, as long as I actively get feedback, I'm going to try to do them pretty in real time. Any, you know, feedback that I might get during that week, I'll throw it into the reader spotlight section before I upload the next one. And if there isn't anything, then I'll just post another fan art that I've gotten by someone, because I've got, very gratefully, I've got plenty of that. Like, a lot of people have drawn Jackie fan art, which is super cool. So I have plenty of things to fill out a week if I haven't gotten any interesting comments or questions. And then, yeah, of course, I give you your handle on Twitter, and the rest is just telling people to like and leave a comment, all the websites you can find it, the Discord server, restating how much that liking the episodes and leaving comments and subscribing actually helps support the comic, and then other places you can financially support it. No, they aren't links. You can't put any links in the image, and of course also you sadly can't have links in the text sections either, which super sucks. But that's just the way it is. But luckily, all the links are pretty simple. Pretty much all of them are November Spookiness or The Spookiness on Twitter. So. Oh yeah, fan art roundup would be cool, but yeah, I'm separating them all. I'll just, because I mean, I'm fortunate enough to where I'm like launching this new, but it's also been going for 10 years, so I do have quite a bit of fan art that I can stick in here if I'm not getting anything active. Yeah, they do allow the Patreon linking, which I already have my Patreon linked, and so it's just a button right there. But yeah, that's all. That's all they offer. And yeah, and that's the end of it. Just reusing that skull sort of situation from the intro I did. Yep, but I think it's pretty cool. The wooden plank background sort of thing, I just used a texture photo that I took a while back. I think it was a fence, but I just turned it sideways, colored it blue like I always do the interiors of the houses and stuff, and I think it works pretty well. I was talking earlier, I don't know if I'm going to use the same wood photos for like site graphics. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to have to test it, because like on all the sites and stuff, especially like the main site, I always had the here we go. Always had the like drawn wooden wall background with the window and stuff. And yeah, I don't know if I want to like redraw a wall like this or if I will use the photos. I'm going to just have to test, because sometimes mixing media can look really cheap. And technically speaking, I was being really cheap when I did it because I just didn't feel like drawing anything, so I just used the photo. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I've got like let me see if I can find folder. Counting pieces of fan art right now. There's one. That's one. I'm actually probably missing a few too. Let's see. That shortcut doesn't work anymore. Okay. But anyway, I have like 20 to 25 pieces of fan art, so I can definitely distribute that among any weeks that I don't have any kind of feedback to highlight. But of course, a lot of those I'm going to have to wait until those characters actually appear, so a lot of it's not usable yet. Like, I'm not going to have like episode 4 and I have fan art of Arane or something, so. But anyway, Oh yeah, cause yeah, that's not really a part of the comic, but don't you worry, you are definitely going to be getting a lot more fan art from me at the very least. I've been very excited to draw a lot of the characters. I just, like I said, I want to wait until I get to the most updated episode and have a, you know, better total idea of like which iteration of a character I want to draw, things like that. But yeah, definitely very excited to draw a lot of them. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting. And that being said, it's very possible I might still draw like a certain older iteration of a character, but I'd like to have a pretty full grasp of what's current and relevant before I go into drawing them. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to end the stream for a few moments as I get Bloodborne set up. And I'll see you guys again in a few minutes. Yeah, thanks for watching me work on Jackie. I'll definitely be doing that more. I feel better doing streams of the remake stuff than streaming like new content that's technically spoilers. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.